Hello, 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 and welcome to the Coaches Lounge with yours truly, Barbara J. Beckley. Every time I have this session, every time I have this show, I get really, really excited and honored because I get to really get into the minds of wonderful, amazing celebrity coaches, mentors, and educators that help other people get to the next level in their life. I tell everybody all the time, everybody needs a coach. I don't care how famous you are. Oprah has a coach. I always tell people that. She has more than one. So why don't we want to have that same thing to lift us up, to make sure we're on the right track, to gear us in the right direction, to have an accountability partner? It all goes into that. And I told myself that I don't really see the love when it comes to coaches. I mean, I don't see people coming on and saying, I want to give all the spotlight to this coach, everything, spotlight to the speaker, spotlight to maybe an author, which coaches are that too. They have triple threats, but not really understanding how an individual helps another one. Because us as coaches, and I'm a coach too, we're so busy trying to make sure everybody else is doing well, right? We're always making sure they're up to that next level. We're always making sure we're rooting for. We're always making sure they're encouraged. And come on, you can do it. But then when it comes to us, we kind of take a little stand to the side because we want to make sure the individuals that we're helping are shining. But you know what? Coaches need to shine even more because they're helping those individuals. So with that, I created this show. I said, I didn't see one. So what they say, if you don't see something, create it. That's what I did. I said, hey, that's the nice thing about what you can do in the world. You can create things that you want to create to help others. With that said, I have a wonderful, and I always call the women queens. This is royalty coming in the house right now. I've been trying to make sure to get her on for a while. We've been knowing each other through another queen. And I kept telling myself, I said, I had to bring her on. She's doing so much good for so many women. And Nicky, amazing. She's a CEO. Okay. CEO. Yes. See, yeah, write that down. CEO. Yeah. Let me, you can take a lot of notes. So get a piece of paper to pen. Just to remind you. She's the CEO and founder of Palm Global, business-minded and leadership coach. Now, she helps entrepreneurs step into their leadership, gain clarity in their vision, and build businesses that are aligned. How do they say that? Aligned, visibility, and profitable. Very important if you're thinking about it. I'm reading this so you might be the one that you might have to go to, Nicky. So just listen. Through coaching communities and strategic framework, Nicky guides her clients in turning their ideas into structured offers. See, there's some key words here. Structured. Very important. Building impact to communities. So this lady, she's an author. She's a speaker. She has her own show. She is, I'm telling you, triple threat celebrity status. So with that, I'm not going to talk anymore because I want her to tell you some things because I can't even do her justice because she's just so great. So before we see this wonderful celebrity, we're going to go to a small break. And then when we come back, you'll get to meet Miss Queen Nicky. and we are back. We are back. If you're just tuning in, if you're just chiming in, if you're just on Facebook, wherever you're at, this is the Coaches Lounge with yours truly, Barbara J. Beckley, and we are spotlighting a wonderful celebrity. Yes, I'm saying that celebrity expert, Miss Nikki. Nikki, thank you so much. I have to say that first before we even start any conversation.
Thank you so much, Barbara. Yes, I am at the lounge show here, Coach's Lounge Show. I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Queen. It's been a journey that we've been walking through, and I'm glad to share whatever it is you want to pick my brain about today.
Well, I'm always transparent. I try to be. And, at the Coaches Lounge, it's just a name, the Coaches Lounge. We get to sit back, really relax, but still have a wonderful conversation with wonderful coaches like yourself, Nikki. And also just peel back some things that how you got to where you came, where you are now. So I want you to feel comfortable. And I told her before we started to be selfish. she has, this is her time, and we're giving her time because we want people to really understand what Nikki's really doing with a lot of individuals. She has done this for years. She has built an empire, and you never know, people that's listening right now either might need you or they know somebody that needs you. So Nikki, before we even start, because I always say connection's the key, with people. And I know you understand too about connecting with the person, not just saying what you do for somebody, but really, really understanding, because in some kind of space in your life, you might have went through something or dealt with something that was really, a difficult time in your life, and you turned it around. And then when people hear your story, they're like, wow, Nikki understands me. I need to really work with her. So with that, I want to pull the curtain a little bit. Tell me a little bit how you got to this point.
Yeah, so a coach was never in the cards for me. I mean, I said I've always wanted to be a teacher when I was at a young age, and realizing that throughout my life and my career and the different things that I kind of touched on, I always felt like I was that moral supporter, that person that's going to cheer you on, that person that's going to find the solution to your problems. Like there was no waiting for it to just figure itself out. It was no waiting for us to complain about it. So everything I did throughout my life was always to bring a solution to whatever the problem was. But in my journey, dropping out of high school 3 weeks before I even graduated, just got lazy, just kind of that was the norm of what I saw, raised in Chicago. And then it took my mom and my dad to actually move from Chicago to Philadelphia, and not going with them instantly. But then after about a year, knowing that I had no direction in life, I mean, I worked, I've always been independent, provided for myself, because, Mama Bomb, she says, you have to live like I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Yes. So that's how I walked and navigated life is, what can I do? Like, how can I leave a legacy, a name for myself when I'm gone? So I made the move. After a year. I said I had no kids at the time. I, gave up my car, kind of did all those things and just made the move. And it was the best decision I ever made. And that was the first step of courage that I took to take ownership of what my life was going to look like. And what it looks like today, what, again, wasn't in the cards. And it just took finally that thing that kind of crossed me over that bridge was losing my brother to an accidental overdose in 2018. And then and there, I realized life was too short. Nikki, you got to get your stuff together. And I did. I just started kind of working on the personal development and all those things. And then 2020 came and smacked us in the face with COVID, and we had to make a decision. And from there, building a leadership mindset was birthed February of 2020. And it was just a YouTube channel to kind of just pour into the world that was still hurting, that still wanted solutions, that wanted to know what direction their life took. And I was just going to put some advice in there. And I did one video, is that for 2 years, collecting dust because of all the stuff that, goes in your head where you're like, can I really do this? Like, who's going to listen to me? But then the connection came, the prayer came at 40, March of 2022, when I asked God to deliver me community that I can serve and can serve myself. And I just action, and I'll let you kind of dig into that a little bit more of
Wow.
how up, but
Yeah.
that's kind of the little stepping stones that it kind of took. And of course, so much in between that, but those were the catalysts that really started Bomb Global.
You see, that's why I really love to hear people's stories. I always want to ask that first because, you know, I tell people it's sometimes a lot of times when we go into the next level in our lives, depending on where God's going to send us, because we're both, faith-based mindset, and you have to go down that road sometime to figure out, okay, what do I supposed to be doing here, or something happened, or anything in your life that sparks you to move forward. But I always tell people that it's one thing that something turns you to somewhere else, but you still have to make that step. You still have to make that decision. And I always tell people you're going to go right or you're going to go left. And even if it's in front of your face and say what you need to do, some people still go the opposite. But see, you have individuals like yourself and me and other people that I talk to that say, no, I think I'm going to go this way because, I dealt with this. I see what's going on here. I think I need to go this direction. And you just have faith and you walk through it and see what happens. Things happen in a way where you're even like mind boggled, like, what? This is grown to this thing here. All I was trying to do is get a Facebook. I just did a little video. I just put something out there. I took this little step here. And then next, look at you have people, you have an empire. I mean, you have built your business from the ground up, and people are resonating with it because, like you said, there was a hurting world, and still is, unfortunately, a hurting world back when the pandemic happened. And we were all like trying to figure out, okay, even me, I was like, I'm not creative. I said to myself, I can sit there and run a business. I can sit there and tell you things. I can sit there and give you advice, but trying to be, a little creative so people be like, whatever. And God told me, he said, just do you. That's what he told me. He said, just do you. Don't even think about it. I'm not creative. Just do you. And I started doing little videos. And now I'm just doing videos for everybody else, which I just started with one little video. So when you said that kind of brought me back to say, wow, see how this one little thing can just start a whole big, you never know where you're going to go. So I want to give you so much love for that, Queen, because it takes work and it takes the time and it takes to figure out, not so much if you're building yourself, but then you're building others at the same time. And because I know you have that mindset, like, I want them to strive. I want them to, but I also have to be an example as a leader. Yeah. So going into that's what I want to talk about a little, because I know you're a business mindset and leadership coach. And I always tell people, if you're a leadership coach, and everybody's a leader in their own business, people be like, well, I'm not really a leader. I said, no, you're a leader. If you have your own business, you're a leader. You are. You don't want to be. You are a leader. You have to have one thing you have to show, like they say, what today's world, the receipts, the credibility of it, and say to yourself, I got to walk the walk if I'm telling somebody else to walk the walk, right? Tell them everything about it, not just the good stuff, but the bad and all that kind of stuff. So people understand that it's not going to be a cakewalk, but if you continue to work towards it like you did, you can get there with help from you. So saying that, and go right into help from you. How, when you build your business and you created Palms Global, give us a little take on, how you turned the message into a movement, because you have done that. And a lot of people, I've been trying to do that. So this is some good advice that you're about to give.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Your message to a movement. That's powerful, because what we fail to realize is that we have every single ounce of power to make it happen. Like everything was an idea and a thought. And when I made the choice, that's all you have to do is make the choice, make the decision, and take the action. How do you do that? You get people that have done it so already. So just kind of taking you back a little bit on that journey, when I said, hey, I want God to bless me with community and that I can serve and can serve back. That was after working in corporate for 14 years as a corporate trainer, giving people the tools and the motivation to get through their day. Um, and fast forward, in order for me to really be able to share my message, I had to get on a stage. And I joined network marketing to do that, right? But it was going to just take a whole bunch of time and it just wasn't happening. I love the travel benefits in that corporation. So I just kind of really benefited on that to just show my family the world. But I took that concept. And when my coaching actually started as a notary coach. It wasn't even a life coach. It wasn't even it was to start a business as a notary because I was doing it. That was when God told me, if not now, when I was making that decision, October of 2020, to leave that corporate company, I said, okay, I submitted my resignation letter, never looked back, did that for 2 years. And people were asking me, hey, Nikki, how do you become a notary? I see that you're traveling. I see that you're doing all these things. I want to do that. So I just set up an email, sent them the information. This is the website. This is the information. These are supplies you need, not realizing that God wasn't calling me for that. He was bringing to say, hey, you need to put something together. So I literally, March of 2022, I literally put my coaching program together in 48 hours and locked in my first 5 clients. I walked them through that journey. 25 clients later, getting either their general notary or their loan signing agent notary. It just kind of opened my eyes. So then, that's March. April, I meet my publisher, asked me what was my story. I said I didn't have a story, was already rejected to even bring out Bomb Global in 2021 to a group of women. But because of who I am and my lifestyle and who I decided to spend the rest of my life with, I was unable to fulfill that as a leader, which broke my heart, which could have had me throw in the towel. But that was fuel to my fire. That was the catalyst that said, you know what? Building a leadership mindset is going to happen. I don't know how it's going to look. I just know that I'm going to walk the walk. So I met my publisher. He gave me an opportunity to speak at my first speaker competition in May 14, 2022, my life changed. That was the final decision that I said, I'm no longer playing small. I'm going to create whatever God has put me on this earth to create. Started my podcast, started writing the book, created a community called Ladies of Leadership, which we are celebrating our 4-year anniversary this year with just masterminds, mindset, businesses being launched, podcasts being started, books being written. It was just like mind blowing. Like when you really take the steps and you just be obedient to yourself and just build on the downloads that you receive using your gifts, that is really all it takes. And you have to yearn for that, right? You have to really understand that it's not going to be an easy walk, because it wasn't. There were times where I, sat in my office just crying about what's going to happen next. Why aren't things moving in certain things? But you know what? I kept on fighting for what I truly believed in, and really being able to make true, authentic relationships and see what someone's passion is, and being able to see more than what they can see was my superpower, so that I can paint that picture for them and not just give them the tools, but walk with them on their journey, which is the most important part of what we build in the culture of Bomb Global.
Wow. So much to peel back. That's first of all, like you said, when you said, I'm not going to play small anymore, that just hit my heart. It really did. And when you make that determination, I always tell people, when that hits your heart like that, it's no way but just going up, because it's just like, okay, this is it. It's almost in the mind frame. And I don't know for you, Queen, but I had to do the same thing in my life. I said, no more. I think my thing was this. Somebody told me, Barbara, are you going to make this a hobby, or are you going to make this a business? You need to make a decision here. This is nothing to play with, because now that's not about you anymore. It's about other people that you're bringing in your life, in your world, to help them excel. So you need to take a stand. Sometimes people come in your life to say, or
Mhm.
something happens in your life where you're like whoosh. So it happened to me both times. It happened with the whoosh, and it happened with the person coming to me saying, you know. And when I thought about that, I thought about what you do, how you build the communities, and you're helping these women. And 4 years, congratulations! I wanted to put that out there too, of having that, and understanding that people understand. See, what I love about you too is that the struggles. You know that sometimes you might just say, "I want to give up," and you didn't. Where some people do, you didn't. That's big. It's huge because a lot of people will take years and be like, you know what, this is even when some says no, you shouldn't do it, or people telling you, or people placing things telling you something, or even in your own mindset, like you said, is telling you maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe this is the wrong decision. Who am I? Da, 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 that stuff tried to come out, but you find out how strong you are when you say, you know what, besides that, I'm still moving. Like you said, I'm not playing small anymore. I love that. I love that, Nikki. Yes, yes. So I want to ask you too, when helping people, turn their message into a movement, when you bring them into your world, like if somebody comes, you say, Nikki, I really need your help. I really need your help with with my mindset, with building structure and everything. What's the first thing that you really kind of help them with to bring them in to your world?
Yeah, so we have, I'm so blessed for my team. Shout out to the Bond Global team because I cannot do this without them. Bringing them in 2023, like a year after I started everything. And um, we have a journey. So there's a process, right? First of all, you can't even get into the community without speaking with me or us building a relationship first, because that's my goal. I want to build connections and then introduce you to our world and what we've created, because we've created a beautiful sisterhood that we protect, and we are all in for you. So when you come into our world, we have a conversation, we kind of dissect, the downloads come instantly, the vision can be painted right there and then. And then once you come in, you are entered into a process, into our onboarding process, where you get to meet our chief heart officer, who gives you a personal connection, who tells you, hey, let's book a call. Let me show you how to navigate our system. And we have so much in our toolbox that we have every recording from day one, from November 1st of 2022, of everything we've ever trained on, every topic we've ever talked about. We have a resource vault where you have total access to. One of the biggest, like if we can kind of relate, if I can kind of relate my mission to a movie, we have, oh my God, I'm going to forget the movie name, which is crazy. It is with, I can't believe I can't remember right now, but I'm going to get it for you. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. But anywho, we have a particular movie that really showcases what Ladies of Leadership is really building. So in doing that, then you have personal one-on-one calls with me every month, where we kind of go through a to-do list. So we actually give you a spreadsheet where we kind of write down your expertise, we take down all your programs, we basically pull everything you already have to create the opportunity, which we do have, is our biggest thing that we've successfully been able to help our women is with a blueprint. So we give you 12 months what your business is about to look like, based on a questionnaire that we have proven that works, that we send to you. And again, it only works if you take action, if you do the things that are on there, because again, you're giving us the information and we're giving you paint that beautiful, amazing, doable picture, and we guide you through the whole journey. So it's not just like, let's meet on Mondays and Tuesdays at 6 p.m. We have personal development, we have business development, we have training, we have our sisterhood moments where we're kind of tie up our hair and we just let it all out. It's a supportive group that that again, there's so much resources that if we're not doing anything, it's because we're not looking at the resources that we have. So it's a beautiful
Mm.
journey we've been able to experience with these ladies to change and turn their mess into a message, their message into a movement and beyond, right? I truly believe that what we've been able to create is limitless. One of the biggest
Mhm.
things, the books that we've done have all been created because of a conversation. And when God downloads those downloads in the moment, guess what?
Mhm.
Making something happen. And sometimes my team has to be like, girl, slow it down. But no, I mean, if it's downloaded, that's because it's supposed to come to life, and we're going to make that.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
that's the journey.
One thing about the visionary of the company, which you are too, with everything else, those downloads hit. And if the team had to be on it, like you said, because like you just said, it's a download. So now we got to make it and we got to execute it. And I love that. I love that you have that in your wording, which you talk about with your empire is, we'll give you the tools, we'll help you with the tools, we'll formulate and walk with you through it, but then you have to execute it too. There's
Yeah.
two sides to it. I mean, you can build anything, right? But if you're not executing and you're not taking action to it, it's just a build. It's just sitting there. And I tell people, I said, no, you got to, okay, we give you all of these resources and then you just sit there. It's like, okay, you got to do some action here. And
Yeah.
it's not going to move the way you want to. So I'm glad that you put that into your whole program that you do with people is always remind them that we are here to just do whatever you need us to do when it comes to visibility, leadership, building your funnel, whatever is needed, because we want you to shine, but you have to also take action too. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one more thing to that because Bomb Global and Ladies of Leadership wouldn't be what it is because the community actually helped us build it from day one. I made sure that I can bring you all of the expertise that I have, but I know that the women that have entered into my world has blessed me and our community with their expertise and their knowledge. So we give our ladies the opportunity to give us those suggestions. They take over calls where I get to sit back and be the student and jot down my notes and just learn from them. And also what we've done is we've taken all that and we use it and we leverage that when we go out to networking events, who in our community can we start building collaborations and connections with? Because again, it's not just about Bomb Global. It's not just about Nikki and the empire we're building. It's truly, truly about getting the visibility and exposure to the amazing impact that these women are building. And that's really what it's about. So I can't say that I built this all myself, but I've given the opportunity to all of the ladies to be a part of what Bob Global is today.
Yes. And it only takes one seed, like the seed that you dropped, and that was dropped in you to create that big, huge, humongous tree, as I say, where you have all these different branches and different leaves, and everybody's doing something to make that tree evolve, right? To make it strong, that strong rooted thing. So the rooted came from you, but everybody else created and really added to that. So yes, it does take a community and a team and others, experts to come in. And that's what makes a powerful community. And you have shown that and created it with so many others. So again, I just got to give you so much love for that because I tried it. I'm just gonna be totally honest. I'm gonna be up here. I try to create some communities, and they was like whoop whoop whoop, and then whoop. I'm just gonna be honest. And then when I seen you, just like I said, okay, learn from the pros, learn from the experts, see how they did it, Barbara. Just don't be trying. And I say that because I want the audience to understand that it's okay to go to somebody that knows it, so you can learn. That's what we're here for. That's why we build things, right? So saying that, I'm just going to revert back to Ms. Nikki here, Ms. Queen. If you are trying, and Nikki, in a second, I want you to give some of the people that you're looking for, like your basically people that you're trying to help, so people can understand how they can come to you and how they can work with you. Now, she already helps entrepreneurs, right? So if you have a business and you need some help in that area, or even if you're just rolling with, like, hey, I got this going, she's a visionary. She can be thinking of other things for you. You just don't stop at one thing and just say, okay, this is it. No, there's other things that can evolve. So, Nikki, real quickly, before I want to give you some time, about yourself on the screen to give me lasting thoughts, can you let the people know what kind of clients are you looking for so they know that they
Yeah.
can work with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're definitely looking for entrepreneurs that are just ready to make something happen, who's tired of being tired of what the external world is trying to put at us. You have the power to, you have the pen to write your story. And I feel like I'm still, on chapter after chapter as I'm building it, going into it 4 years. But I've been doing this for 21 years. My first business that I helped was actually my aunt's hair restoration business in Las Vegas. Didn't even realize um, that she's still using the same system that I created for her 21 years ago. So I'm like, oh my God. She's like, it works. Why would I, she has her front office. It's just amazing to even realize that I even forgot that that's something a seed I planted many, many moons ago. And we tend to forget that. But if you are looking to, again, even start your community, to write your book, to start a podcast. The biggest thing is when people come into our world, we just listen. So I have my team that's like literally we grab the chats, we grab the AIs, we're listening, we're taking notes, we're building trainings from a training, which is what we want. The biggest thing that I have is the biggest download, the first download ever that happened the first year with Ladies of Leadership was taking off the shades. And have you ever had a moment where, someone actually on our call decided to say, why do we always pick the wrong one in relationships? And another member kind of ran around the screen and came back with some shades on and said, because we're always walking into these relationships just kind of blocked off. We're not asking the right questions. We're not doing the right thing. And the instant download came to create taking off the shades one, which is when you finally see what no longer serves you.
Wow.
37 authors in our community wrote a chapter in this book. And we are so excited that we're actually launching Taking Off the Shades 2, which is named I'm No Longer Playing Small, which was a collective part of our journey, because what I want to make sure is that anything that comes into our world, it's produced in a way that's going to impact lives around the world. It's not just us. It's not just our communities, our networks behind our networks. It's literally every single soul that we can touch, that there is hope, that there is opportunity. And taking your story, your message, and putting it in an anthology that grows your community even more has been a true honor to be able to lead. We just launched last year our Me versus Me. That's the journey to overcoming self-sabotage. We had it plugged on the Jumbotron at our 3-year anniversary that we were celebrating in New York, just highlighting the journey, but the collaborations that I've been able to build throughout with each one of our ladies has just been beautiful. So yeah, that's one of the biggest things we're working on now, besides all of the amazing events we have. And we're going on tour, taking our message, right? Our Dream It, our Build It, and our Elevate It message around the globe. We've hit 2 states already. We're about to hit 48 more. So join us on this mission. We're building the stages for those that are ready to really take their business and their whatever it is that God has called you to do. We're taking it on the road, and that's the mission overall.
And people, that's why I wanted to bring this celebrity queen on. She just dropped the mic. There's nothing else for me to say, but there's something for you to do. I know people are like, what? You're telling something to do, Barbara? Yes, I'm going to be nice about it. I want to ask nicely. Reach out to this wonderful queen. She has given you so much what she does and why she does it. She has a heart of gold. She had what you're seeing here. This is her every second of the day. Believe me, she wants you to succeed. She wants you to win. Her team wants you to win. That's why they pour so much in to everybody, because we have to. I always say, I've been saying this for a while, Nikki. It's just been coming to my mind for last month. I always say queens have to lift up queens. Queens have to, because I call women queen, as you know. But I was thinking, I said we have to. Why do I say it? Because I feel like we have to lift each other up all the time. It doesn't have to always be on a downside either. It could be like, if you feel flourishing, you be there with that queen. You flourish right with them. You say, "Yay, I love you. I love what you're doing." Because eventually we're all going to rise to the top together, and we can celebrate together. So I say all that. I'm gonna get off of my, I know I can go, but this is not about me. This is that, you see, this is about the love that Nikki has for the people that bring into her life. Only the individual she's looking for. And she means it about execution. After you get all this, you have to put some feet to it. I always say some steps, some action. So with that, I want to make sure that Nikki gets at least a few seconds to talk her last thoughts, because I know she has some wonderful other golden nuggets. And then we're going to wrap up so you understand how to meet. You could talk to this queen, talk to her team, and really just make sure that you are on the right track for your own building your own empire. So I'll be right back, Nikki, and I'll let you leave some thoughts.
Thank you so much again. What I just want to tell you, the world, the watcher, the listener, the person who has that desire to make a difference, who's doing the do, but doesn't really have the full toolbox, just know that you can do it, and you have to connect yourself again with your why you exist, with the how can you make this happen, and with the who can you do this with. And there's so many people out there that are waiting for you to take that step. And you've probably heard it. You've probably been told that you have a gift, a talent, and you can actually create a lucrative income with it. We have exactly what you need, from getting those thoughts together to providing the blueprint to giving you the systems to actually turn it into life and to continue to elevate it over and over again. So take that action, whatever it is, connect with that person you've been trying to connect with, make that dream happen. People are waiting for you, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today.
That's another mic drop. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today. Yes. Whew. Well, I'm going to take that advice. And people be crazy not to take that advice from you. Thank you so much, Nikki, for being a part of the Coaches Lounge, sitting with me, having a conversation with me. But the biggest thing is to let you know that thank you for being a lighthouse of the world for others. I always tell people that, when you shine your light, and your light is shining strong and it's meaningful, you will basically resonate with people that comes into your world, and you make their world shine. So thank you for doing that for people, because it's not easy. It's not easy. And I'm just going to just say it like that. But you have to have that mindset. You have to have that heart. And that's what Nikki has, and so much more. That's not it. I could be talking about Nikki forever, but we don't have that much time. But I will be making sure that we put clips, that we make sure that you understand her community, how to get to that community, and what's going on with her right now. She just told you about the anthology book, the second volume of it. But that's just, there's so many other things that they have in their wheelhouse. So, but if you want that visibility, you want to shine, you want to make sure that your story is getting out there and people understand that, execution is important, sign up with Nikki right now. I know she's looking for authors and people to come into that world. So with that, Nikki, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we will see everybody at the next Coaches Lounge. Just to let you know that when you come on this show, as you can see, it's about you. It's about you. I want to give you some love. So that's what I said on the bottom: spotlighting experts, advice for life and in business, because we all need to make sure that our gift that we have in ourselves shine. And sometimes it helps when you have other individuals helping you shine that gift that you have. So never underestimate a coach. You take care, and I'll see you at the next Coaches Lounge.